What's going on, YouTube world and YouTube tribe? Hold on, let me make sure this is on. Okay, yeah. Welcome to a special edition of my, as the title says, though it don't say special edition on the title, but this is the Smackdown review, my Smackdown review. Hold on. Oh, almost forgot. Gotta have the bell on. You guys almost let the tribal chief do the review without the bell. Anyway, welcome. I gotta redo it all again now. Welcome to LilBigMan Gaming YouTube world and YouTube tribe. Cause I got a review, special review. What makes it special is because this is the first video done and made on my birthday as a YouTuber and a YouTube creator. So this is the very first in many of my YouTube videos, but this is the first one done. This is the very first birthday review, and yes, today is my birthday, so wish your tribal chief a happy birthday. Because I want you to acknowledge me on my birthday. Because when I win and retain against Edge and Daniel Bryan, you all will acknowledge me as the champion. But anyway, get everybody to hit that like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification button. Also, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this go home Smackdown the day before. Well, yesterday. Technically, today is WrestleMania. Technically, it's probably on right now. So this won't be a long video. Maybe. Because technically, nothing really happened of any importance, and it's like everything was quick. This was pretty much just all promo and hype. This was like a hype show. If anything, this was considered like a hype. You know, they were just hyping on WrestleMania. Nothing of significance even happened on this show. Not that I can remember, but as we go down and I break it down, I probably will. Yeah, those who are subscribing and new subscribers alike, love you, appreciate it. Thank you for joining me here today on my special review day on my birthday, to let me, and still even on my birthday, to allow me to entertain you. You know, without y'all, I'm just a person putting videos on YouTube and just a small time creator. But hopefully one day, by the grace of God, I'll be a big time creator. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get into it without further ado. So, Daniel Bryan opens up SmackDown. He opens up SmackDown, and he basically gives this impassionate speech about how, once again, it's played up that this could be his last WrestleMania. We get that little play up with that again, about how it could be his last WrestleMania. But he also talked about how the different Daniel Bryans, how he was always getting told no in his life, even when it came about being the WWE superstar, about anything, it was always no, because he didn't fit the mold of what that person would look like to get the yes, basically. And then, but he said he was told by his mom, by his loved ones, to always dig down deep and prove the people wrong and basically get that yes. And that's basically what he's been doing his whole career, his whole rest of the career, his whole life. And even when he was told he would never wrestle again because of his injury, he said that was a no, but then he eventually turned it into a yes. So he basically, it was I like the speech because it basically speaks to the Daniel Bryan, what we witnessed him go through, over the years, and his comeback fight to become a wrestler again. And it was a very good speech that he basically was saying that at WrestleMania he will beat Roman Reigns or Edge and become the Universal Champion. We would get a little backstage promo. After that, we'll get a little backstage promo with the Street Profits about how, and they was talking about how, just like Daniel Bryan would win at WrestleMania and become the Universal Champion, they would win their tag team titles back, just like Daniel Bryan. But then they was cut short by Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, who just basically jumped in before the match could even start. I think it turned into an all-out brawl, because I think not only Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode came, Rey Mysterio and his son got involved, and Chad Gable and Otis got involved. It was a brawl before the match, because then that would lead into the first match of the night, which was the Smackdown Tag Team title match, which was a fatal four-way match, which you had Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler defending the titles against the Street Profits, Chad Gable and Otis, and Rey Mysterio and his son Dominic Mysterio. The match was good. The match was good in itself, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Even though so far the best thing of the night was Dan Bryan's promo up until this point, but we still had to start the show, right? So yeah, I pretty much enjoyed it. It was a good opening match. It could have went back and forth. Had I wish that either the Street Profits or Rey Mysterio and his son Dominic would have won, because I think they even mentioned it on SmackDown that what did they say? Oh, that if Dominic and Rey would have won the tag team titles, they would be the first ever father-son tag team in WWE history. Now, I thought there might have been another one, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, it was. But yeah, they end up. No, I would have rather Rey Mysterio and them won, or the Street Profits. Even Chad and Otis. I just didn't like the fact that they kept the titles on Dolph Ziggler and them, because they really have been defending the titles, and since the titles been on them, they haven't really had that luster that I would look for. But it is what it is. I think we would get the next match. I think we would go straight into the next match, which was Nia Jax versus Tamina. I would love to say that was the next match, but it basically was the next match. Yeah, it was an okay match. I knew it didn't really mean anything. It was just it was just to get the hype for the see to a possible matchup with Tamina and Nia. This could mean that on night 2, because tonight it would be like the tag team turmoil to see which women's tag team will win. I guess whoever wins the tag team turmoil tonight will face Nia and them on night 2, which is tomorrow night. Yeah, I want to say this match was just a possible hype to get you hyped to see Tamina versus Nia, knowing that they relatives. I think they both cousins in real life. Cause I think they all part of the same family with Roman Reigns and The Rock and them. But yeah, this was just to get you hyped to see two powerhouse like Tamina and Nia just go at it. But I think the match even ended in DQ, because I think Tamina got the best of Nia with a Samoan drop, and she was getting ready to pin her, but Sonya Blaze, after so many interference from Reginald and Sonya, would jump into the ring and hit Tamina, causing the disqualification, which means Tamina still technically won the match, but it was just she won it via disqualification. That would lead to the next backstage promo segment with the women of the tag team turmoil. And they like we suspected, because it was rumored that Carmella and Billie Kay was going to be in there as a tag team, and if it was, because I think it was even the channel Wrestle Talk. I remember I watched that, and they said how it was accidentally revealed in the promo art that was taken down that. It showed Billie Kay and Carmella, but it was taken down. It only showed the original women who was announced for the tag team turmoil. But it was eventually proven that was true, and that promo that accidentally revealed Carmella and Billie Kay was an accidental, I guess, promotional art release. because it was in this promo that we got backstage with the women of the tag team turmoil. It was officially revealed that Carmella and Billie Kay will be entering together as a tag team. So now it will be Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose versus Lana and Naomi versus Carmella, Billie Kay versus the Riot Squad versus Tamina and Natalya. And I guess whoever wins the tag team turmoil, they would go on to night 2 to face Nia Jax and Sonya Blazer for the women's tag team championships. We would get a promo. We would get a promo from Kevin Owens, not Kevin Owens, but Sami Zayn. They were showing how I guess it was like a little earlier in the day footage like thing where Sami Zayn went to go. He was down in Miami, went to go visit Logan Paul, who was basically was at the gym boxing training for damn it. I think he was. It was with his brother Jake. It was a nice little cameo from his brother Jake Paul. Everybody know who Logan and Jake Paul is. The YouTubes, famous YouTubers who hail from my very own state of Cleveland, Ohio. And like I always, when I mention them, I always say they one of the people I inspire to be in terms of success on YouTube. But yeah, it was a nice little cameo from his brother Jay. They saw them in there boxing. I don't know if they would, obviously this was WWE, so they might have not really been in there training, but sake of the story purposes, they was in there training. And Logan's like, Sammy's like, hey, he's doing this whole. It's like at this point he's like the girl that shows up at the party that nobody wants to show up at the party because they know she's gonna ruin the party. And he showed up, and Logan is like, oh man, I don't, Jake is like, this guy? And he's like, yeah, I don't know why he's here. I don't, he like, Sammy, what are you doing here? I didn't even invite you here. He thought it would be a good idea to surprise him. Basically was talking. Then he got the great idea that he would go get his workout clothes from out the car, and that he'll come back in and basically spar with them. They just like, oh my god, okay. And so he went out to his car, but then he realized the door had closed behind him. And so he banged up the door to make I guess he couldn't get back in, which he should have been able to get back in the same way he got in the first time, but apparently he couldn't get back in. He was telling them that he was with Logan Paul, and the security dude kept telling them they was closed. So it looked like Logan and Jake purposely locked Sami Zayn out because they was like, yeah, no. Then the promo doesn't end there though. It actually then cuts back to in the arena with Michael Cole and Corey Graves, where out of nowhere Sami Zayn just pop up and grab a headset and get on the commentator with them and tell them. He said, saying how the conspiracy still was going against him because they only sold select footage. They only showed the footage that make him look bad, make it look like make it look like he got thrown out and locked out. But he said what the footage doesn't show is that Logan actually gave them an earful for doing that because he was with them, blah blah blah. This and that he had, to make amends. He had breakfast with him this morning or whatever, and it was like he basically was lying through his teeth. But then his little tirade and rant would get interrupted by Kevin Owens, who would basically beat the holy crap out of Sami Zayn and try to get a stun on him. But Sami Zayn would end up slipping through and going into the arena, into the little screen crowd, as you would put it, or the Thunderdome crowd. But Kevin Owens basically said, yeah, you could run now, but this Sunday ain't nowhere to run. Now, maybe one of the best promos of the night came from Big E. I didn't know that about Biggie. I must not have been paying attention to it. Anytime he come out, they say he's from Tampa, Florida. But they mentioned how Biggie's from Tampa, Florida, and this promo, the promo they showed was basically not of him in the arena, but him in the streets of Tampa, and how he went to his old barbershop to get a lineup. He was explaining to Apollo Crews how this is where I come to get a lineup, but also to come to clear my head. And he introduced the audience and Apollo to the person cutting his hair. He's supposedly a famous haircut person down in Miami or down in Tampa, Florida. And then he introduced us to his school and where he went to wrestling, how he's a star athlete in the wrestling. He introduced us in his wrestling school. Team. And then he also introduced us to where he ran and to the actual field in which WrestleMania is going to be taking place. And he actually played football. He said that's where he won. He won the state championship football game there at that field. He said they on his home turf. He never forgot. While Apollo had to remind himself and get a retouch with his roots. He said he never had to. He never forgot where he was. Excuse me. Sorry. He said he never had to forget where he was. He didn't have to forget who he was because he always knew. While Apollo had to get real touch with himself. He said, and then he was very intense. He said that basically that at WrestleMania, his dreams. WrestleMania is where his dreams are becoming, Intercontinental Champion will come to die, basically. Let's see, what else did we get? We got another promo. This is just like a lot of promos. We got another promo from Edge, basically doing the same thing like Daniel Bryan was talking about, how his journey to get back. How he thought things was gonna go when he won the Royal Rumble, and how he felt like that Bryan weaseled into his match. It was still a great promo, but it was a lot of stuff that Ed said was a lot of stuff rehashed from last week and a little bit the week before that. But he did cut, but that was just a little bit the beginning part. But the way how the middle end. And how he finished it basically was the best part of the promo. How he basically went on to say that he would beat, no matter if it's Dan Bryan or Roman, he would beat them to finish the cycle, to finish his vision of coming back and becoming world champion again. Because he never lost the world championship when he retired. He had to retire and relinquish the championship because of injury, and he basically was saying that he'll get back what is rightfully his. And he reminded everybody that he is the rated R superstar. We would get the final match of the night, which was the Andre the Giant Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I'm not gonna go through everything because I can't remember who got what and who got eliminated. This that I do know. It came down to Baron Corbin, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Jey Uso. I think they was like the only people who actually got to use their entrance, while everybody else just came out doing after the whole Sami Zayn incident. They end up coming out anyway like that. But oddly, I know what you're gonna say. We haven't heard from Roman tonight. We about to hear from Roman, but so I do know that I do want to point out that T-Bar and Mace had an impressive showing in the match. T-Bar and Mace, Mustafa also had an impressive showing in the match, and they out of nowhere, Ola's former tag team partner, he came out of nowhere. I can't even, Tucker was in there, and I just couldn't believe they actually used Tucker. And I think he was like one of the first people. I think he was the first person eliminated. Now that I think about it, Um, but yeah, it came down to Shinsuke, Jay, and I forgot his name, Baron Corbin or King Corbin, and I think King Corbin would get eliminated first by Shinsuke Nakamura. Then it came down to Jay. I think both Jay and them had try to hit their signature moves, but would reverse it. But Jay would dodge the first attempt at a Ken Sasuke and get super kick. And get Shinsuke would he dodged the Sin Kasuga from Shinsuke Nakamura, and Shinsuke I think got super kick right in the chest, but then Shinsuke came back and hit him with the King Sasuke. I probably just messed that up both times I said that damn move. And it would attempt to throw Jay Uso over the top rope, but Jay would reverse it at the last moment to throw Shinsuke over the top rope and win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Hopefully, I think they still might have plans for Jay to get him a push. Maybe they might try to get him to push over on Raw, because they did say they had plans to try to take over Raw too. But maybe, we'll see. Hopefully, this means that they still got big things for Jay Uso. Immediately during Jay, not immediately, I said like a couple of minutes into Jay's celebration of winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, that's when Roman Reigns made his appearance. Like, damn, you kind of took the moment away from Jay, but okay, even Jay was like, man, damn, he like, damn, kind of took my moment. I was kind of let me have my moment, but you kind of took it. But okay, you tribal chief. So Roman basically came out and cut his promo, saying that he's not the president of the United States. He's not running for president. I shouldn't have to sell myself to you. But I says I'm out here. He said I'm the dream crusher. I'm gonna crush your dreams. He said dreamers. And he kept calling Edge and Daniel Bryan dreamers, and said he was gonna crush their dream. And that at WrestleMania, that you might have caught that the stick I did at the beginning where I said at WrestleMania I will defeat Daniel Bryan. That's basically what he says, and that at WrestleMania I will defeat Daniel Bryan and Edge, and y'all will crush your dreams. And he said, and then the entire world and the people at WrestleMania will acknowledge me. That's basically how he ended his promo, saying that he will beat both of them and retain his title, and that he will be Universal Champion. Now, the rumor I want to say before I end this video that it is a rumor. The rumor and the speculation is that either it is a high chance that Edge is walking out as Universal Champion, and or Daniel Bryan is going. They might. It's the unlikely. The one thing that I hear is for sure is that Roman Reigns is losing at WrestleMania. The thing that is not known for sure whether it's going to be Edge or Daniel Bryan, or whether they're going to give Daniel Bryan another WrestleMania Part 2. Or they actually going to just do the fake out, thinking you're going to get the WrestleMania Part 2, but Edge is the one who wins. But that's what I hear. I don't know for sure, but that's what I heard. But if I would give this anything, this episode rating, I give it a solid 7. 7 big ups, just because it wasn't a great show. It wasn't a great go-home show. And I say that because back in the day, the go-home shows, like the go-home Raw and Smackdown, used to make you hype for the pay-per-view. And lately, they haven't been doing that with the go-home shows, because this has to be rated as a go-home show. And they just not really I'm hyped for WrestleMania, but they don't do nothing to get me hyped. Like, if I had to just go off these two go-home shows, I wouldn't be hyped for WrestleMania. But that's it. That's all I got. If y'all can hit this button right here, it'll take you to all of my wrestling reviews. hit this button right here because your tribal chief demands that you acknowledge him and subscribe to the channel. Or hit any one of these great videos with more amazing content. I will try to get some gameplay videos, but I am celebrating my birthday. But that's all I got. Peace out. See you in the next one.